You've probably been told that the story of slavery started on plantations across the Atlantic. But what if I told you that's not the whole picture? That the real story began much earlier and a lot closer to home. The first enslaved Africans were taken to Europe long before the Americas were even on European maps. Today, we're setting the record straight. Slavery wasn't new to Europe. As early as the 5th century BCE, enslaved people, including Africans, were a part of ancient Greek and Roman society. They were captured in wars or through trade. It wasn't about race back then. Africans from North Africa and south of the Sahara were brought across the Mediterranean. We see them in Roman art and records, working as laborers, servants, and even gladiators. This established a brutal tradition of exploiting African bodies within Europe way before race became the central excuse. But everything changed in 1441. This is the year the story takes a dark and decisive turn. Along the West African coast, two Portuguese sailors, Antuo Goncalves and Nuno Tristal, captured several Africans near modern-day Mauritania. These men and women were forced onto ships and taken back to Portugal. This wasn't just another act of enslavement. It was the start of something new and horrifying. It marked the beginning of a systematic racialized slave trade, where black skin itself became the justification for bondage. By the 1450s, this horrific trade was in full swing. Enslaved Africans were sold openly in the streets of Portuguese cities like Lagos and Lisbon. The first recorded public slave auction in Europe took place in Lagos in 1444. Just imagine the scene. Families torn apart, children ripped from their parents, their languages silenced, their identities erased. A Portuguese writer at the time, Gomes Ins de Zurara, documented these auctions in chilling detail. He wrote not only about the profits, but also about the profound grief of the people being sold like property. What started in Portugal didn't stop there. It was a virus that quickly spread. Spain, France, England, and the Netherlands all followed suit, eager for their share of the profits. The enslavement of Africans in Europe became the grim blueprint, the training ground for the horrors that would follow. It laid the foundation for the transatlantic slave trade, a monstrous system that would forcibly transport over 12 million Africans to the Americas. So, Europe didn't just participate in slavery. In many ways, it was the architect of its modern form. The first enslaved Africans taken to Europe are not a footnote in history. They are the prologue to a story that reshaped the entire world through violence, greed, and unimaginable suffering. To truly understand the history of slavery, we have to start where it really began, in Europe. Thanks for watching. If this history is important to you, please like, share, and subscribe for more untold stories.